Give me the tea. I want it.
Okay, so some of the comments are online are saying that welcome to Hollywood Junkie, you guys. I'm Ashley Bowden. I'm sitting here with season 22, The Voice contestant, Omar Cardona, who is on Team Legend. Welcome, Omar.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you. So let's just get right into it. Radioactive, your performance was out of this world. Was that like a song that you picked for the knockout round? Like, was that something that you picked, or was it a part of your strategy? How did you choose that song?
So that was definitely a song that I chose. It was actually we were allowed to give a few choices of songs, and that was my first choice on the list. And I chose it because I sung my first blind audition. I sung Separate Ways, Worlds Apart by Journey. And that's a heavy rock song. And then my second song, I sang Into the Unknown, the Panic at the Disco arrangement. And so I was trying to go a little stray away from the rock and then like the more musical theater rock style. So I wanted to go classic, like pop rock. So I'm staying in the rock realm, but just a little bit more poppy with that song. So that's kind of my thought process through that.
You did, yeah. And I heard both of those elements in your performance, which was amazing, which I know I'm sure you saw the feedback on it or heard the feedback about it. And how do you think that performing for 15 years, because we know that you've been performing for a while, how do you think that has prepared you for competing for The Voice Live, the Lives round?
So honestly, I'm so used to performing live. I do a lot of studio work but I also do a lot of band work. But I don't think there's anything that can prepare me for something this big. So it's really going to be a true like once in a lifetime experience that I'm hoping that all my experience can help me move forward. But honestly, I'm so nervous. Like I was so nervous.
I would be too.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing I've ever done. So
yeah. Well, you do have quite the toolbox to pull from when you're on stage in front of all those people and in front of the judges. You have the experience behind you. So do you think that there's an advantage to staying on the same team because you've stayed on Team Legend? Do you think there's an advantage to that?
I definitely think there's an advantage to staying on Team Legend's team. I think it's just, getting more comfortable with him, and the more time you get with your coach, the more time they can really dissect your artistry and your potential and your talent. So I think there's a huge advantage to being on the same team, but honestly, all these coaches have such great, feedback and stuff. Like Blake, watching the show back, Blake is such a heartwarming person. Like I would have loved to have worked with Blake. So I think it has its benefits to be on the same team, but I wouldn't have mind to work with Blake as well, or Gwen.
Yeah. And I feel like they all have such a warm personality. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, completely.
Well, so what teammates have you had a chance to bond with so far this season?
So Kim and Parajita are my two on my team, are my two favorite people that I've connected with. We have filmed stuff before, prior for the last like 8 months. So when we're home, I've gotten to talk to Kim on the phone and Parajita. We've kept in contact. Like I have FaceTime Kim and she sang for my brother. So it's like we have a little camaraderie. But outside of Team Legend, Morgan Miles is like my ride or die.
Really?
Yeah, she reminds me of my best friend back at home. So much. So like it's like a comfort place for me to hang out with Morgan. She's like my best friend here for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love to hear those behind the scene bonding stories because we don't always get to see that. We might get a little glimpse, but we don't always get to see it. So that's great to hear that. And speaking of back at home, when would you say, at what point in your journey did you discover like, oh, I can sing? Like, whoa, where did this come from? Like, when did you know that you had a voice on you?
I think I realized how much I loved music was in high school.
Oh.
And my brother encouraged me to audition for the musical, and I had never done musical theater at that point, you know. And when I did it, I just felt so at home on stage and singing. And did I know it was gonna go as far as I've come? I had no idea, no expectations. I just, you know, knew I loved it and I was passionate about it.
Okay.
You know, my dad's taught me how to work hard. So he's a hardworking man, you know, so I just took that concept of just working hard and applying it to music and performing. And it's paid off in dividends. I'm really grateful for it.
Oh yeah, it's paid off in a big way. And we see the work that you've put in, just as the audience. And now, speaking of your brother, EJ, right?
Yes.
What advice has he given you so far, like in the competition?
Something my brother told me, he was like, honestly, Omar, like you have such a great voice, you know, but it's your storytelling that's really effective, is that you draw people in with how you portray a song, and your intent is always shown on stage. And I think he told me that's my biggest weapon. And I completely agree. I think, you know, as much as the show is called The Voice and you're supposed to be an incredible vocalist, you know, but there is something about telling a story and, you know, getting moving people through music, you know, and connecting with them. So that was his advice to me. And I've taken that. I'm like, remember, it's not just about your vocal ability, you know, make sure you portray the right story.
Yes, and you do that. And I know when, just from the radioactive performance, you connected with me when you did that big breath at the beginning, that pause, that really drew me in. I was like, whoa, like you don't always see people perform with that level of theatric, but it was so natural and flawlessly done. So kudos to you for that. And yeah, no problem. And I just wanted to ask you one last thing. I know producers probably tell you to stay away from like the comments online and things like that, but I just wanted to like give you a little bit of tea and tell you what everybody is talking about. So, say that again.
Give me the tea. I want it.
Okay. So some of the comments online are saying that he's a rock star already. They won a concert like yesterday. The champion is clear. Quote, these runs are crazy. Absolutely awesome. His voice as well. And it just on and on. People are just giving you your props and they're so happy to, you know, be able to experience your gift. How does that make you feel?
I'm already emotional talking to you about it. I do. It's just like the outpour of support has just been so incredible. And I'm 34 years old and I never expected to do something this big at my age. You know, I expected this to happen when I was younger, you know, and so I try to stay humble, and the people around me have just been so supportive and just so excited to see, you know, my progress on the show. And I just can't thank them enough. Like, if I haven't reached out to you guys yet, I promise I will get back to you. Everyone that has reached out, I will. It's just super overwhelming, but I love it. It's beautiful to see the community come together, especially in Orlando. But my family and my friends, other coworkers, and people that didn't know me, that just from the Orlando area. It's like a small army right now that's really supporting me, and it means the absolute world to me. It does.
I love that. Well, congratulations to you so far in your journey. And we are loving watching you every week, and can't wait to see more of your talent, Omar.
Thank you so much, Ashley. I appreciate it.
It was great talking to you. You guys, this is Hollywood Jug Kid. I'm Ashley Bowden. This is Omar Cardona from The Voice Season 22. Check you guys later.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.